Pull day will contain biceps, back, forearms, and shoulders. For biceps, you're going to want to do 3 different exercises for it. And why? Because the bicep has 3 muscle groups that we want to target to grow, because it will make them look the most aesthetic. Starting with the long head is targeted when your shoulders are extended and your elbows are behind you. Exercises that will target the long head are incline curls with dumbbells, drag curls with a barbell, and Beijing curls with a cable machine. Now the short head is targeted when the shoulder is flexed and your elbows are in front of you. Exercises that will target this are preacher curls with dumbbells, preacher curls with preacher curl machine, and bicep curls with barbell. Next is the brachialis, and the brachialis is the muscle a lot of people think they don't need to grow or need to target at all, and I disagree. The brachialis is a muscle on the side of your arm that will give you a more wider look, but you're not going to be doing it only because of that. You're going to be doing it because not only does it target your brachialis muscle, it also targets your forearm muscles, specifically the brachioradialis. God, it's probably going to be the hardest muscle to pronounce this video. And the one movement we're going to do to hit the brachioradialis is reverse curl. Literally just a basic bicep curl, but you'll be doing it in reverse, just as in the name. But if you don't have a barbell, you can still do another exercise to hit this muscle, and that is the hammer curls. It's amazing for forearms and the brachioradialis muscle and the brachialis. They train both, and it's really amazing, so it's a good option also. Alright, next is forearms. They're pretty simple, and you're not going to have to do much for them, but to target them, we're going to have to hit 3 different muscle groups: the anterior muscle, the posterior muscles, and the brachioradialis. I just talked about the brachioradialis already, and this is going to be the muscle you'll be hitting when you do reverse curls and hammer curls, so I don't have to talk about it here. First, the anterior muscles. You can hit this area by using wrist flexion. And how do we use wrist flexion? With exercises like forearm curls with a barbell or dumbbells. You could do this either sitting or standing, and any of these exercises will pretty much do the job. Next, the posterior muscle. It's honestly very similar to the anterior muscles, but this time you'll be doing wrist extension. An exercise you could do to hit this muscle group is seated wrist extension, the best one by far, in my opinion. You could do standing wrist extensions, but I still think sitting is better. It gives you more value with the range of motion, so that's that. Now onto shoulders. There will be 3 groups that you have to hit to grow them in the best way possible. These groups are the anterior, front delt, lateral, side delt, and posterior rear delt. Starting with the front delt, the best exercise in my personal opinion that I do is a shoulder press, usually in the bench with a 60-degree angle and the perfect alignment of the muscles. This can be done with shoulder press machine, but to get a perfect muscle alignment, you want to sit not upright, but like this. You won't have to worry about the front delt much because it'll already be used in a lot of exercises you do, but still, it's a good idea to have an exercise for the muscle, but you won't really need to do more than that unless it's a lacking muscle for you. Next is the side delt, literally one of the most aesthetic muscles on the human body, if not the most aesthetic. Best exercises to grow this muscle are lateral raises, and this will be done using dumbbells or cables. Important thing to note is when doing this exercise, you don't want to stand upright completely, but you want to be tilted slightly forward like this. And shout out to Max Aceta for this. There's actually 2 positions you want to train your side delt in with lateral raises. First, the lengthened position, and the second, the shortened position. You'll already be training the shortened position with regular lateral raises, but all you have to do to train the lengthened position is do lateral raises but partials, meaning that instead of just getting the full range of motion, you complete it partially. You could do this with heavier weights as a different exercise or set, or you can superset this after doing regular lateral raises till failure. Alright, now the rear delt, aka the posterior muscle. A key thing to remember is the best exercises to train the rear delt are the ones at a 45-degree angle. And one of the best exercises to train this is the rear delt fly with the cable machine. There's a rear delt fly machine, but I'd honestly rather do the rear delt flies with the cable machine instead, because to achieve hitting the rear delt in the best way possible, you have to lean forwards on the machine at a 45-degree angle, which is completely fine and will do as good as a job as rear delt flies with the cable machine, but it's all preference. If I can't do rear delt flies on a cable machine because it's taken, I'll do it on the rear delt machine. Either one is fine, doesn't really matter. Just like the side delt has a short and lengthened position, you want to train it in. Luckily, the exercises that you'll be doing to hit the shortened position will be a back exercise, and hitting the back is a part of your pull day, so you'll already be training this, and I'll explain the back exercises. Now, the back, the last muscle we'll be hitting for pull day. The back consists of 2 parts that include way too many different muscles to get into right now. The 2 parts are the upper back and lower back. First, the upper back. The muscles you want to hit for the upper back are the traps, rhomboids, and teres muscles. This muscle group is best hit when your arms are up and out to your sides horizontally or at a 30-degree angle. Luckily, all of these will be hit in almost any rowing exercise with almost any variation, but I think these are the best ones. Barbell rows, personally my favorite back exercise for the upper back. Could also do T-bar rows, face pulls, or any horizontal row. But now for the best part, the lats. There are two parts of the lats, the upper lat and the lower lats. The upper lat has two positions you want to train in, shorten and lengthen. And this will give you that V-taper look that makes you look aesthetic, and it's one of the most important muscles for looking aesthetic, and it's a must-have. Now, how do we grow them? You probably know some exercises already. Pull-ups for the lower lats. Pull-ups assisted with bands if you can't do them yet, which, if it's your first time, you probably won't be able to do them. If you have a semi-decent gym, they'll probably have some bands to assist you, and a pull-up machine to assist you too. Now for the upper lats. Like I said, there are two positions you want to train them in. First will be the shortened position. To hit this, you could do hip-supported rows. You may be thinking, aren't rows supposed to be an upper back exercise? Not if they are down to your sides instead of horizontally. Working in this position will work your lat in the shortened position, so that means any exercise that puts you in the same position as this will work the shortened lat. Next is the lengthened portion of the lat, and what you could do to hit this is kneeling cable pull downs. You could also do this sitting, but I don't think that's really necessary. Get a better stretch anyways. One tip on this exercise is that you want the non-kneeling leg to be used on the same side as the working arm. This will give you more stability when pulling down. Now we got lower back to work with. 90% of people have a weak lower back. You probably do too. And if you've ever been exercising, you probably experienced it, and it's so important to train it. It gets neglected so often, so if you started doing low back exercises, unlike me at the start, you'll be ahead of a lot of people, and I wish I started doing some at the start, so don't be me and do it. To train lower back, you're going to do deadlifts and squats. These are just exercises to grow the lower back and other parts. Obviously, squats grow more than just that, but you'll be doing one more exercise for this, and this will be the bird dog. The reason you should do this is because it'll make your lower back more stable, and lots of people lack stability in their back. They have the strength but just not the stability, and you don't want to fuck your shit up in the future because you neglected it. So don't be mean. Train your lower back. Finally, we're on push day. Now the muscles you should be training on push day are chest, shoulders, and triceps. We're going to start with the chest. One of the most important muscles too is the upper chest, clavicular head, and lower chest, sternal head, and abdominal head. The sternal head is pretty much the middle chest part, and the abdominal head is the very low part of the chest. For the chest, there's a lot of different exercises you could do for them, so you won't be very limited when it comes to training it. Now, exercises you can do to train it, starting with the upper chest, clavicular head. I personally do incline bench press for this, but you could also do decline push-ups, and I used to do decline push-ups when I didn't have enough equipment, and it worked phenomenal. If you're already really good at doing push-ups, this might not be an exercise you want to do, but if you struggle with them or still find them difficult, to a certain degree, this is an amazing fucking exercise. You could also do low to high cable flies. Now the lower chest, sternal head. You could do regular flat bench press for this. You could also do hex press, and push-ups will work for this too. But just like I said with decline push-up, if it's still an exercise that's too easy, it won't be a great option. And regular cable flies is an exercise you could do too. Now, the final part of the lower chest, abdominal head. Incline push-ups are good for this, and if you can, try and do it weighted if we're going to use this exercise. But at the start, I don't even think you'll need to do it weighted. Dips are pretty good for this too, and I personally have them in my routine because not only do they train the lower chest, they train a part of the triceps too at the same time, so it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. But you shouldn't just limit yourself to this exercise. There is more that you could do. You could also do high to low cable flies. Alright, triceps. It's made of 3 different parts: the long head, lateral head, and medial head. Starting with the long head, exercises you could do for this are skull crushers, kickbacks, and extensions. And one tip for skull crushers: don't keep the bar over your head in the default position. Keep it slightly behind your head, and this should help if you feel any pain or tension in your elbows too much. Now, the medial head. This is already a muscle that is used in a lot of exercises, so I don't really think you need to target it. So if it's a really lacking muscle for you, exercises you could do are hex press and close grip bench press. Next, the lateral head. Exercises you could do for this are tricep push downs and dips. But if you can't do dips yet, try a dip machine if your gym has one. And another bodyweight exercise you could do for this are diamond push-ups. I used to do these when I didn't have the right equipment, and they work just fine. Now, the shoulders. There's literally one exercise you gotta do for them on this day, and that is shoulder press. Literally just shoulder press, and that's it, you're done. And the reason for this is the shoulder really isn't a muscle you really need to target. It's already used in most exercises you do, so you don't need to focus on it, and you honestly don't even need to add something for it, but it's always a good idea to still train it. So that's that. A leg day. Okay, leg day is actually more simple than you think. You don't gotta go crazy with this day like a lot of people think. The muscle groups you'll want to hit on this day are the quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. For the quads, exercises you can choose are barbell squats, Bulgarian split squats, leg press, and leg extensions. Barbell squats and Bulgarian split squats will also train the glutes at the same time. Now the hamstrings. Exercises that I do for them are Romanian deadlifts. Could also do this with a barbell or dumbbells. I also do leg curls for this muscle. Romanian deadlifts will also train the glutes along with the hamstrings. The glutes. Most of the exercises you're already doing on leg day will hit them, but the number one exercise you can do if you want to hit the glutes specifically is hip thrust weighted. The final muscle you'll be working are the calves. In my opinion, I think calves are pretty overrated. Not because I have small ones or anything. Oh, hell no. But I think it's still important to train them because it's still a muscle you could grow. The number one exercise for calves are calf raises, the only one you'll need for them. Now for my leg routine, the way I usually do these exercises are quads, hamstrings first, doing any exercise I mentioned that hits them. Quads again, using leg extensions. Hamstrings again, using leg curls, then calves. This is a bonus exercise and tip, and this will help you with the abs. Definitely the fucking most aesthetic muscle, fuck the side delt. And I have a tip for this. To achieve the abs, you have to have a low body fat percentage. And some people already have chiseled fucking abs without ever touching a piece of equipment. And that's because it's very genetic, and I'll explain why. You know the term 6-pack, 8-pack, and 4-pack. Having these are majorly genetic based. You can only have what your genetics allow you to have, so therefore you may have an 8-pack, 6-pack, or anything. But just like any other muscle, you could grow your abs, but you can't magically grow an 8-pack if you have a 4-pack. But you can make them pop out more, and I think you should train them if you want to have the best possible looking abs. Now the two exercises that I personally do that are amazing exercises is standing weighted ab crunch and leg raises. Standing weighted ab crunch will chisel and make your upper abs fucking pop. Leg raises hit the lower abs. A lot of people have horrible lower abs, and most people have pretty decently developed upper abs already, but neglect the lower ones. This exercise might be kind of difficult at the start, but over time you'll build tolerance and strength to it. Once you progress far enough in it, you can start doing leg raises on a dip bar or on a leg raise bar. And one of the perks of having lower abs and doing this exercise is that a lot of body-based exercises and just exercises in general will benefit from this, and it will help you build a stable core that'll make exercises easier for you. I personally train them 1 to 2 times a week on push day, and that's kind of odd. Most people do abs either on their rest day or their leg day. It's your personal decision to choose what day you want to do it on, but try and at least get it in twice a week. And now you're finished. That's the entire workout / routine and exercises I used to grow muscle as a teenager. I hope this helps anyone out there that is trying to become a healthier person. No matter if they're older or younger, it doesn't matter. These are some things that I wish I knew starting out, because if I did, I'd be furthering my progress, and I hope it helps you skip a lot of the obstacles I had to grow through. And if you follow these exercises, you'll be ahead of me and people around you. Hope this helps, and share to anyone who you think needs this or wants to start working out so you could help someone. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.